Kamono.
Hello, this is Zulu Fanwa from Kamono Farm Initiatives Ltd, talking about the Client Share Ownership Program. We spoke to you, telling you about the Client Share Ownership Program, where we're looking at each one of you, how you can get involved, not just as a client who is an external person, but as a person who is inside the organization, so that we work together, we own this agribusiness together, so that when we are talking of making agriculture profitable for smallholder farmers, you and I are those people, and you're so excited, like I am, about owning it. So we are talking of Kamono Farm Initiatives having been in business from 2013 thereabout, and having grown from that time to where we are today, and with products of outgrower schemes and even contract farming that are flagship. And we are at this point where now that we have bought into the program, each one of us so excited to be part of the program, and now we are saying that you need to come on board, you need to take another step. You made the first step to show your interest in agriculture and even put in your money. Now we want you to make another step to own this agribusiness. We are giving an example of so many countries where many citizens get to participate, and we get to see a lot of growth of their economies because citizens are participating. Now, when we talk of Client Share Ownership Program, we are asking you to come and get on board so that we make agriculture profitable for smallholder farmers, and then we transition to a cooperative. Now, the beauty about a cooperative is that each one of us has got equal say, we have equal ownership, we have equal control, and whatever we get to do, you get to have a part of it. I'll give an example. Right now, when you pay for your contract, you pay a particular amount, like let me say for chili. When you pay for chili, and then we get to sell that chili at 20 kwacha per kg, we will just deduct the 10 kwacha per kg. The profit that remains is a profit that remains for Kamono Farm Initiatives. And a few other activities that we get to do, which we call corporate social responsibilities, are what gets to go down to the communities where we are working. But under a cooperative, it means that your 3,500 that you get to pay gets to be given back to you. The interest that has accumulated on that because of your investment gets to be given to you, and even the profits that remains, or the surplus, as a cooperative, the language of the cooperative, the surplus that gets to remain again gets to be shared in activities that get to combine each one of us. So we have outgrower schemes that have to be done under this cooperative. And these outgrower schemes, you have the ones that are self-funded, like the ones that we've been doing, and the surplus from the cooperative that it will get to give loan-based outgrower schemes so that everybody gets to participate. That will mean that you'll have cheaper seeds, you'll have cheaper fertilizers, you'll have cheaper chemicals, because all these are bought in bulk by the cooperative for each and every member who is doing production. I would give also, talking of contract farming, it means that the land where we are doing the production is ours, and also the equipment that we have is ours, and we are talking of all the produce is ours. When we get to sell all the profits, it's all ours. That is what we are talking about when it is a corporation that is owned by its own people. Then we will own the land, we will produce on our own, and the profits we get to share. The other part that we get to do, remember we had done some real estate contracts. And with the real estate contracts, we were saying that we get the money, do the agriculture production. From the agriculture production, then it's given to a contractor, and the contractor gets to build for you a house. But now, when it is done under a cooperative, the beauty of it will be, when we start the agriculture production, you are supervising the whole thing. And when we are talking to say we are going to build on this land, it is land that we own. And we can decide whether that land we're going to use it for residential, where you get to be in that house, or you can use it for residential income, where you are just collecting rentals, and that is money that you get to save for your other issues. Then the other thing that we are talking about is farmland development. Right now we have a model where we can develop 500 hectares of farmland within a period of 5 years in every district in Zambia. Now, it works far much better when it is with you, because it means that every one of us that is participating in this, we have a farm that is closest to us. Right now, when you look at the location of our farms, they're centered around the closest distance to the market. But when we cooperate and we are working together, it then means that we have farms that will be given the different crops that they get to do, others that are needed now, others that will be needed later, but all of us get to be produced. So I'm looking at an arrangement where we have farms where we are producing seed maize, and we have farms where we are producing the grain maize. So farms that we are producing the seed maize, because of its high value, even if it is way above in Kasama there, it will not be a problem because that is seed. A 25 kg gets to do a hectare. But if it is maize that we have to come and do the milling from Kabwe, coming from Kasama, you'll have to start looking at the cost of production. But when we combine, we'll have areas where we have high value economic activities and other areas where, yes, the activities are not so high in economic value, but they are valuable for the whole chain to get to function. There's also another part that we can do together as a team, looking at how other countries have done it. Look at most of the countries that come to Zambia, and they're big mining companies. You'll find that they're either on the London Stock Exchange or the New York Stock Exchange or the Canadian Stock Exchange. All this gets to show that these are people that have put their fewer resources together, put all those resources, come to Zambia and do the mining, and today over 90% of our tax revenues get to come from them. So they are doing it and they are bringing it to us, and a smaller percentage of it is the so much money that we get to run our countries on. But what if we are the ones that run the bigger chunk, and the smaller that gets to be contributed as tax, actually it is money that gets to develop our Zambia. As a group, 10, 20,000 of us contributing just minimal amounts of money, we can get to do a lot of these mining activities. So when we talk of a client share ownership program, we are looking at ownership. And when we look at ownership, we are looking at serious ownership that gets to even protect the future generations. Because some land, we are going to get it today. We are not going to develop the whole lot of it now, but that is land where one side we can do mining, the other side we can do a private forest, the other side we can do livestock keeping, and that is land that we are going to use for the next 20, 30 years, but when we have title to read, it means we have it for the next 99 years. So we are protecting our own land and even be able to transfer it to the next generation. One more interesting thing that we get to do when we put our resources together, it is something, I don't know what name we are going to give it, but some farmer trading market. Now, this farmer trading market, imagine a situation where I put in a 500 kwacha and buy a goat. And 6 months down the line, that goat has got a kid. Already the value of that has increased. And then we have this market where I can sell it off at that point, and somebody else, instead of paying a 500 for it, will pay 1,500 kwacha for it. So they come in at a point when it has increased value. Then a year down the line, I come back and buy again that share of that livestock. So the more it gets to increase, the higher the value it gets to have. A similar thing can be done also with timber, where when I plant a pine, it will be in the first year maybe at a price of 100 kwacha, but in the third year or in the fourth year, it will be around 3,000. As we get to its final years, it will be 5,000, 6,000, and it can be traded between members. All that is possible if you and I get to put our hands together and we get to say, this is our Zambia, we are going to do it. Interestingly, there are certain things that have happened in the agriculture sector that many of us have not even benefited. I'll give an example of warehouse receipt system. A system where you can get your maize, you can get your soya, put in a certified warehouse, and then you are only charged for that piece or for that space that you are occupying in that warehouse. And then getting that warehouse receipt, you go get a loan from a bank. And after you get that loan from a financial institution, you get that loan, and when you get that 3-4 months down the line, when it is time to sell that maize, the bank can sell that maize, you get your difference when they deduct the loan that they gave you. That is already in our laws, but it's something that is not done because each one of us is working individually. On my own, I cannot do it. But when we combine our resources, we can do it. We can have certified warehouses. We can put money aside that can get to do commodities. And every one of us will not worry about prices that get to fluctuate here and there, because we can have a certain level of control because we have where to put it, where it is kept safely, and you can still make money out of it. So come and join us to grow the greatest agribusiness industry in history. Let us all be economic warriors and end this poverty that has been something that literally we have gotten used to. But with Kamono Multipurpose Cooperative, when you join it, you are a champion. And agriculture needs champions now more than ever. Because look at our maize. How is it that we have had bumper harvest and all of a sudden we have to start importing maize? We have to start importing mielie meal. What has happened to the productivity prowess? It's all because certain things were not being done right. Imagine we are producing at 30% of of the potential that we have, and then you get to lose 60% post-harvest losses. It's a situation that needs to be controlled, and it can be controlled when you and I get in, we participate, and get to make sure that we own the things that we produce. And when we introduce, or when you join us, as you follow the link and you join us, you are joining us so that we can grow the food, we can eat our food, the excess we can get to export. Right now, other countries are looking forward to export to Zambia to give us their mielie meal. I don't even know the taste of it, but we are yet to see how imported mielie meal is going to taste. So Zambia, we can grow it if we want, and this is the opportunity that we have for us to grow it to greater heights. I thank you.